Hey everybody, my name's Jen Fairbanks and I want to welcome you to our newbie launch pad or newbie boot camp or whatever you want to call it. Kristen Donahue and I are going to be working together to do about 5 video sessions using Zoom over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to go over the 14-day training plan. Now you can find this 14-day training plan in the files section of Team Give on Facebook, so you might want to print it out for the next time. We're super excited to have you on this journey with us. We're hopeful that these videos are going to be really helpful to you and getting your business off to a really good start or restarting your business, whatever your goals are. And we're going to save these videos so that down the road you can use them with your new consultants that you sign up. August is the perfect time to start building business. We have a product launch coming in October, and the more preferred customers you have and the more consultants you have on your team, the more you're going to benefit from that product launch, and so is everybody else. And your bank account will love you too. We're going to have some prizes as we go for participation, so make sure you participate and do the homework. We're going to have a little bit of homework with each session, but it's not going to be too much, and it's all going to be very relevant. So I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit about me. My name's Jen Fairbanks. I'm a level 5 leader on Team Daring Greatly, and I signed up to be a consultant in August of 2013. I have 3 kids. One is about to go off to Chico in 2 weeks, and I have twins that are going to be sophomores. I'm a school principal by day for alternative ed for the court schools, so juvenile hall and all the kids that are expelled and truant in the county. Super busy job, but I do love it. But I certainly wasn't looking for something else to do. But what I was looking for was something for sun damage. I grew up in San Diego and had a lot of sun damage, and I had tried everything under the sun, including visits to the dermatologist, and nothing had worked. A friend of mine was having a BBL, or a big business launch, and I went to be supportive, but I really didn't have much faith that that was going to work either. But I thought, well, I'll just support her and we'll see. Well, much to my excitement, it did work, and it completely transformed my sun damage. So I pretty much jumped in to be a consultant because I thought, well, worst case scenario, I just make enough money to pay for my products. My goals were really low and really small, like yours might be as well. I think a lot of us start off with really small goals because we really don't see the potential that this business has to offer. And so within about 9 months of becoming a consultant, as my sponsor quit and her sponsor quit, so it's kind of on my own, Becky Strope reached out to me and started asking me questions about what I was doing and how I was doing it. And from that point on, I started listening to training calls, and my business just started to blow up. I've been a level 5 for about 1.5 years. I'm striving to hit Premier for a convention. And, you know, the extra money is great, but really the best part about being a Rodan & Fields consultant is getting to work with all of you and really helping all of you reach those goals that you set for yourself too. This training, what we're going to be talking about today, and sorry, I'm going to have to look at my notes here and there. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. We're going to be talking about the importance of your why, like why are you doing Rodan & Fields? Your short story. I just told you mine, a little modified fast version. How to write and develop that why in that short story. A little bit about your .com and your .biz sites, the solution tool, PC perks, and 3-way calls. So you don't really need to write notes on all of this unless that's the best way for you to process information, because you can play this video over and over and over again. These videos are not going to expire, and you can access it as many times as you want. So first of all, I just want to say, take a before picture. You know, it's on every single box of every single regimen. I didn't do it, and I really wish I would have. I ended up finding an old picture of myself with a lot of sun damage that I use as my before picture before I started Rodan & Fields products. But seriously, take a before picture. It's not too late. Even if you've been in the business, 6 months or so, it's not too late. Just take one and put it aside. You don't need to show anybody. You don't need to do anything with it, but keep it. Because personal before and after pictures of you will speak volumes to your network. We show a lot of before and after pictures on Facebook, and those are really powerful. But believe me, when they're you, they're quadruple powerful. So take that before picture. One thing about those before pictures is I want to tell people that when you talk to your preferred customers or your other consultants that you're signing up, people are kind of nutted up about that before picture. Like, they just hate it. You can tell them that they can take it, and then if they use it, they don't have to use their whole face where they're looking all hagged out because they didn't sleep the night before. They can just use maybe their eye or their eyes or their forehead line, and that's a little bit easier for some people to swallow as far as doing the comparison. So suggest that to people. Okay, the next thing I'm going to tell you is that if you haven't already, you really need to put together an introductory post for Facebook or Instagram. You need to inform your network of what you're doing, because if they don't know, how are they going to know to get in touch with you to get some great skincare? You need to let them know that you started this business, that you're super excited, and really there's no rule to how to do that, but you just have to be genuine and you have to be you. So there's a lot of sample introduction posts. I know on my team page, Team Believe, we have a sample introduction post that you can copy and edit as you fit, as you see fit. But really, you just want to say, hey, I just want to let you all know that I just started this amazing new adventure with Rodin & Fields. If you don't know, it's an anti-aging skincare company developed by the same doctors that created Proactive, and I can get you hooked up with it. And I'd love to give you some samples or give you some more information. So how about the next 5 people that say, I want to try, I'll get you a sample in person or I'll put it in the mail. That last sentence is really key. Lots of times I see this introductory message, which is great, but there's no call to action at the end. You really need a call to action. You need to tell them to do something, message you, say I want to try, say I'm in, something. You want to ask them to do something. And people will do that for free products. And I'm telling you, once you get a mini facial in their hands, they're going to be hooked. Here's another example. Hey friends, I'm super excited to share that I just started an amazing journey with Rodin & Fields, the same doctors that created Proactive. Remember them? They own about 85% of the acne market globally, and now they've launched into the anti-aging skincare market, and I get to partner with them. I would love to share with you some of these transformational skincare products so you can see and feel for yourself how awesome they are. Thanks for your support in advance. The next 10 people that comment, I want to try, will get a sample from me. Don't worry if you live near me. I can mail it to you this week. Who's in? Next, make sure you're added to all the team pages. There's a lot of them, and don't overwhelm yourself with them. Basically, you want to be on your immediate team and maybe the next one up, just so that you have a place where you can get some information, learn from other people's questions and answers, and post your own questions and answers. But really, I used it in the beginning for a lot of learning. If you're on the Team Fusion page, there's an income producing activity tracker that every month people get entered into win tank tops and t-shirts and things like that. So there's lots of different incentives on those pages. So you definitely want to be a part of it. One Facebook page that you should probably add yourself to is called the IRF Facebook page. On this page, there's a ton of corporate approved before and after pictures that you can take and use as you wish on your own Facebook page. People often will post a before and after and call it Transformation Tuesday or Freebie Friday, or you can use it to send to a prospect that's interested in something for sun damage or sensitive skin or rosacea. If somebody asks me some questions about fine lines and aging, I might give them the information about Redefine, but I will also send them a before and after picture, because pictures tell a story, right? Words are just, facts on a paper, but when you show a picture, people can relate to that, and they want what those people have in those pictures. Okay, so now on to your websites. You have 2 websites. You have a .com website and you have a .biz website. So your .com website is for signing up new preferred customers, accessing the solution tool that you can send to prospects so you can have them figure out what regimen is best for them. And I'm going to go over that in a little bit. And it's also your starting point to log in as you, so you can get to Pulse, which is the back-end business side for you. That tracks all of your preferred customers and their dates, etc. And we'll talk about that soon, but not right now. So the solution tool. There's a few ways to access the solution tool. When you go to your .com site, down at the bottom right of the screen, there's a picture that says Doctor's Solution Tool. If you click on that, a screen will show up that says Start Consultation Now. When you see that screen up at the top of your computer in the browser bar at the top, you can highlight that address and you can text that address to somebody, you can Facebook message that address to somebody, you can email that address to somebody, you can post it on a Facebook link, maybe at the end of a post if you're saying the first 5 people to take the solution tool will get a free mini facial from me. That's a great way, because then when people take the solution tool, the doctors recommend the best combination of products possible. So they often will recommend a regimen and a tool and maybe add in the eye cream and the acute care. So they offer a big package, which don't pre-think it for people. Tell them what the offer is. They're going to get an email that shows what the recommendation is, and so are you. You can always start big and go smaller. It's a lot harder to start small and go bigger. So that's one really good reason to use the solution tool, even if you've been around like me for a while and you pretty much know what it is that they need. Sometimes I get in my own head and I'll, not go down the acute care road, even though the doctor's solution tool would have recommended that. So I highly recommend using that solution tool. The other thing is that in your Pulse, you can access solution tool contacts. So everybody that's filled out a solution tool and clicked next a couple times at the end and entered their email, you have those saved in your Pulse under My Solution Tool Contacts. So you can go back and look at that down the road, maybe in your follow-up, because somebody might have done it, you might have given them a sample, and then they went into witness protection and you haven't heard from them, and you can't really remember what it is that they needed. You can go look there and reach back out and say, hey, Caroline, I heard, I haven't talked to you in a while, but last time we talked, we had a recommendation for a Redefine and the AmpMD roller, and right now, there's a special that if you order that, you get a free box of acute care. So thought I wanted to let you know. And let me say, for the first time, and definitely not the last time in this whole training session, the fortune is in the follow-up. And I know you've probably heard that a million times in your life, but it is so true with Rodan & Fields. I mean, do not cross anybody off that list of yours until they've told you a flat-out no. And most no's are really not right now. And all those people that are ignoring you, if you have that yet, which you will, you just need to believe in your gut that a lot of them come around. I mean, I signed up to 3 preferred customers last month, and I've been talking to them all for a couple of years. So don't give up on them. It's just not right timing for them, and they just don't know how to communicate that, I guess. Your .com site is also a place where you sign up a new preferred customer. So people can order retail and pay more and pay shipping, which we don't recommend, or they can order wholesale as a consultant, or they can be a preferred customer. And we want them all really to be preferred customers or consultants. When you hit $600 in preferred customer sales, you get a bonus of 5% commission. And even more importantly, you're setting yourself up for this ongoing residual income. And residual income is a huge benefit to Rodan & Fields. There's a lot of other direct sale companies out there that sell different things. And they're not consumable. And they're not a product that you need over and over and over again. And with Rodan & Fields, skincare is consumable. And so by signing them up as a preferred customer, they're eligible for an auto shipment every 60 days. They're really eligible every 30, but it defaults to 60. But they have the power to change that, push it out, delay it as many times as they want. Some people are really afraid of becoming a preferred customer, and really that fear is based on past history with some other company that they signed up for, and they ended up with 500, bottles of vitamins that they didn't even open the second jar. And they don't need it. And then they can't find the number to cancel it. And they're just beaked out, right? And we've all probably had an experience like that. So this is how I explain our preferred customer program. Okay, Caroline, you definitely want to become a preferred customer. You're going to get 10% off and free shipping, and you can modify or push out your order as often as you want to. I will manage your account for you, so you really have nothing to worry about. I hate those auto ship programs where I was required to get the whole set of whatever, even though I only needed 2 of the steps. Rodan & Fields doesn't do that. In fact, it's one of the best parts about this program. You get what you want when you want. There's a one-time fee of $19.95, but you typically save more than that on the first order anyway because of the 10% off and the free shipping. The only rule is that when you do order, it just needs to be $80 or more. That works every single time for me. You just have to be confident in when you're saying it, and you just have to make sure that you run those auto shipment reports so you don't forget anybody. But even if you do forget anybody, which we all have, it's okay. You just need to own it and help them fix it and then move on. It's just good customer service. And obviously, you try not to forget in the first place, but we'll go over running those auto shipment reports down the road. Another critical thing to remember is to be strategic about choosing a password when you sign up a new preferred customer. When you sign up a new PC, you're always going to be able to access what their email information is, which is what their login is. But their password is something different. So what I typically do is get their information from them and just sign them up myself. And I always make their password their first name and a 1, 2, 3. Some people do their first name 1. Some people do their last name 1. Some, whatever it is you want to do is fine, but just keep it as consistent as possible. Because then when you're on your trip with Rodan & Fields Elite in Maui or wherever they may go next, and you have to edit somebody's account or push it out or have it processed, you can log in from wherever you are, and you don't have to be carrying around an Excel spreadsheet with you. I also recommend, like I said, that you sign them up as a preferred customer if you can. You really need their email, their shipping and their billing address, their credit card number and expiration date, and what they want, and that's it, and their phone number. And basically, I just get that information from them over the phone or even a text or Facebook Messenger. I've had people text me pictures of their credit card, and I just tell them I'm going to delete it right away. You don't have to wait around till you're going to meet them for coffee in 3 weeks. You can do that over the phone or via text. You'd be surprised. People are very willing to do that. Sometimes I offer a reimbursement of that PC fee, that $19.95, as an incentive for new PCs. I don't always, but sometimes I do, especially if it seems like it's going to be a deal breaker. They pay it initially online, and then I reimburse them with either a free $20 product, like maybe a body lotion, or I just send them a check for $19.95. I usually round up to $20, and I also send them a little thank you card at the same time. Customer service is a lost art, sadly, and I promise you that if you treat your preferred customers well, they will stay with you for a long time. Thank you cards, check-ins to make sure they've received their products, a check-in after they've been using it for about a week to see how things are going. I always want to call them before they have a problem and call me. Lots of times, they won't call you if they have a problem. They just stop using it, and then their mindset's off of it, and they're done. So definitely good customer service is the key to preferred customer retention. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about your .com site later as well with once you've logged in and you're in Pulse. But next we're going to talk about the .biz site. So your .biz site is primarily used for signing up new consultants and accessing the link for the different business kits to send to your prospects that are interested in the business. So remember how I talked about when you click on the solution tool and the address comes up at the top of the browser on your computer? Well, when you go to your .biz site and you click on Enroll Now, the 4 different kits come up, and you can do the same thing. You can send them that link. Keep in mind that if you sign up a new consultant and your consultant chooses to not enroll in CRP and Pulse or turns it off before it would process the next month, it's going to impact your bonuses. The bonuses are not huge, but you deserve them. You know, you've been investing time to help them to understand this business model and what this company has to offer them. And then once they start, you're going to be investing time helping them get started. So you deserve it. So you get bonuses for 2 consultants in a month or more. So, and bonuses are different than commission. So bonuses, if you have 2 consultants in 1 month that have CRP and Pulse process, or basically 100 in sales volume, it could be all CRP, but they really do need that Pulse website if they're going to be enrolling preferred customers and tracking dates and all of that. 2 in a month is a $250 bonus. 3 in a month is $400, and 4 in a month is $550. So that's pretty awesome bonuses there. Keep that in mind, because sometimes you can think about that and use those bonuses as incentives to sign up new consultants. So commission for a new consultant, if they sign up on the $395 kit, it's $45. If they sign up on the $695 kit, it's $90. And if they sign up on the $995 kit, it's $130 or $135, one of those two, in addition to the bonuses. In addition, we'll talk about Lead the Way at another session. 2 consultants in a month gets you Lead the Way miles. So if you've got 1, you really want to push for 2, because otherwise you're going to leave $250 on the table. So in order to get those bonuses, Pulse does need to process the following month. So if they don't sign up for CRP and Pulse at enrollment, they can still do it. It just has to be done before the end of the next month. But a lot of times incentives run by Team Give require that in order to be enrolled in the incentive, they have to sign up for CRP and Pulse at the time. CRP and Pulse. What I tell people is, you know, Pulse is really it's free for the first month, and it basically helps you figure out who your preferred customers are, when their dates are going to run, and then there's a whole business development library that gives you a ton of product training. And the CRP is your consultant replenishment program. And basically what that is it allows you to purchase products that you can hand out as samples, in addition to what you know are going to be using in your kit, replacing that for yourself. So I often offer $50 back if I'm signing up more than 1 person in a month, because I can take it out of my bonuses. So 1 month, a few months ago, I signed up 4 consultants. And really the strategy I used was I signed up that first one. And then I thought, okay, if I sign up 1 more, I'm going to get $250. So then I decided, okay, so I told the second person, if I'm offering an incentive for new consultants, but it has to be this month, if you're interested, let's do it now, and I'll give you $50 back. So then once I had 2, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go for 3 now, and I gave that person also $50 back, and then I used the same strategy with the 4th person. And, you know, $50 back is no big thing, but it's a big deal to a person signing up sometimes. But for me, that commission was pretty huge for those 4 people. But I do make those money back incentives contingent on CRP and Pulse processing the next month. Okay, so that's enough about that for now. So let's talk about your why. So your why is super important. When I first started in Rodan Fields, I really didn't think it was. You know, people were talking about it all the time, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. But I think the part that put me off was because people said your why should make you cry. And I thought, oh, great. Well, I guess I don't have one then. I had one, but, you know, it wasn't going to make me cry yet. And some of us are lucky enough when we start off in Rodan Fields to have a really solid, strong why that does make us cry. You know, like they do not want to leave their babies at home and they do not want to go back to work, or they're the sole bread earner in their family and they are pinching pennies and going into debt month after month. And there's a lot of other whys out there that can make people cry, I'm sure. I think for me, what I've realized is that the longer you're in this business, your goals get bigger and bigger and your whys get bigger and bigger. And so it changes over time, and that's okay. So don't be afraid to have a why that is maybe that you just want to pay your car payment, or you just want to be able to pay your mortgage. That's a pretty big why. But maybe you want to pay for, the gym membership for your 15-year-old. You have to start with something. It has to be solid enough that it's going to help you through the tough spots. You have to kind of dig deep a little bit. Dig as deep as you can. And so even though my why was basically to make sure that when my kids went to college, that they did not end up with a bachelor's degree that doesn't get you very far these days, and $100,000 worth of debt. And I did not want $300,000 worth of debt. And so that why was strong enough for me to push through when people ignored me, or push through when people didn't text me back, or push through when I had an appointment to meet a consultant and they flaked, or any of those kinds of things. It kept me moving forward. And that's really the gist of what your why needs to do. It needs to be strong enough to help you through the hard parts. And remember, it's going to change over time. So your why is not a short-term goal or a plan of action. Goals can be achieved, but your why is what's going to keep you focused on that longer range vision. Like you want to retire in 3 years, or you want to travel the world, or you don't want to work anymore, or you don't want to send your kids to daycare. It's got to be kind of the big picture. Most business owners know what they do and how they do it. Successful business owners also know why they do what they do, and they think, act, and communicate with that why incorporated in everything that they do. Everything is built on that foundation, and it's always in their mind. So I want you to think about what your why is, and I'm going to ask you, it's going to be part of the homework assignment, and I'll go over that at the end. But maybe write that down for yourself right now is, what is your why? Why are you doing this? If you're not clear on it, it's really easy to put Rodan & Fields to the side and get distracted by everything that life brings with it. So you really do need to put some time and think about it. It needs to be personal yet relatable to others, so keep that in mind. If you're having a hard time figuring this why out, start off by identifying what your motivations are. So what are your short-term and long-term personal goals? What do you want to change, enhance, or accomplish for yourself and for the people in your life? Deciding today how tomorrow looks it means something different to everybody. So what does that mean to you? And you should be able to tell somebody your why in about 10 seconds. Maybe 20 at the most. Okay, so that's enough about your why for right now. So your short story is the next big important thing. Let me start by saying that it's called short story because it needs to be short. Powerful and short. You should be able to hold a plank. You know what a plank is? You go to the gym and you hold that plank move for as long as it takes you to say it. So about a minute, maybe 2. There are some questions that we use to guide our development of our short story. So remember that first impressions count. It's important to capture somebody's attention fast, so you have to be succinct and confident, but you most importantly have to be you. Your story should be compelling and authentic. It should touch upon the most important things, your why, the brand, and a reason why they, whoever you're talking to, should consider Rodan & Fields. It should come across naturally in a conversation. So here's some questions to help you craft your short story. Keep your answers short and to the point. And I will put this on the page, so you don't need to be madly writing this down. So question number 1 is what was your background prior to joining Rodan & Fields? So when I first introduced myself, I told you I was a principal in Port Community Schools. How were you introduced to Rodan & Fields? I told you that I went to a friend's big business launch. Number 3, what was the one thing that impressed you the most? I skipped that part, didn't I? The caliber of people, clinical effectiveness of the products, the fact that this wasn't a party plan, the fact that this was virtual, that you could go as fast or as slow as you wanted or needed, that you could fit this business into your life. Really, that was it for me. That It wasn't a party plan. I didn't have to make deliveries. I didn't have to have sales quotas to be met every single month, and I could fit this into my life versus it being one more thing for me to do. Number 4, what results have you experienced by using the products? If you've been in this business just a little while and maybe been using the products a couple weeks, you might not have a ton of things to say about the results of using the products. But you could say that your face feels healthier, and maybe it's not as oily, or maybe it's a little bit brighter. And you can also share what you've seen it do for other people. There's thousands and thousands of people that have had these amazing success stories with Rodan & Fields products. There's no reason why you can't use their successes to share in the beginning. And number 5, how is your Rodan & Fields business making a difference for you? If you're super new, you might not even got a paycheck yet. But do you feel supported? Do you feel like you can have some hopes and dreams again? Do you feel like that you're part of something bigger than you? Are you inspired? Did you pay your car payment last month if you have been around a little bit? Maybe the mortgage. Maybe you have hope that you can pay for those ballet lessons for your daughter. So share how it's making a difference for you, and it doesn't have to be financially. And the last thing that we're going to cover in this session is three-way calls. Now, there are a ton of trainings that take a long time on three-way calls, and so today is not that training. If you go onto the Rockin' Robins page and Romy's Powered by You page, there are a ton of pre-recorded calls that have happened already in the last year. You can find them because they're labeled, and you can find the ones that say three-way calls and listen to that. There's also a lot of YouTube videos on three-way calls from Sarah Robbins. So if you go to YouTube and search Sarah Robbins series, you'll see all sorts of training calls there, and three-way calls is one of them. So today we're just going to talk about why three-way calls are important to do and how they can really help you. So three-way calls offer this huge amount of credibility. It's this third-person validation of the products and the business opportunity with no pressure or hinky sales vibe. It's also a super huge opportunity for you to learn the language, hear how the language is used, hear how objections are addressed, get the most succinct explanation to your prospect, whether it's for products or the business. So don't be worried about that if you bring a three-way call that your prospect is going to be pressured or harassed by any of us that are helping you do those calls. Far from that. We are not those people, nor are we in the business of convincing anybody to do anything. The last thing we want is somebody that felt pressured to be here, because it's not going to work out for them if that's not what they want to do. We simply share about the products and the business, and the last thing any of us wants is somebody who's all beaked out, and it's just not what we do. So don't worry about that. Here's some sample language to arrange a three-way call if you're new. Hey, Caroline, I know you've expressed some interest in the products, or you could say the business, and I'm so new, it would really help me out if you would let my friend Jen explain it to you. That way you would get the best information possible, and I would get to learn also. Will you help me out? How about Tuesday at 2? So once again, that last sentence is kind of a direct question and a call to action. Like I'm giving you a time option. Will you help me out? It's hard for people to ignore direct questions like that. If you're not so new, you could say this. Hey, Caroline, I know we've been talking a while about the Rodan & Fields business opportunity, and I feel like there may be some questions you have lingering in your mind. How about we talk next Tuesday at 2 and I can answer them? Does that time work for you? I may ask my friend Jen to help me out so I can be sure to answer all of them in the best way possible. So that way you're not surprising her with a third person, but you're just making it really casual, because that's really what it is. It's pretty important to get past this normal fear in the beginning of three-way calls. I mean, some of you might not have that fear. I did, I have to admit. Just because I think it was a trust issue for me, and my sponsor quit and her sponsor quit, and I didn't really know Becky Strope or Kristen or anybody, but once I got to know them a little bit and talk to them a little bit, then it kind of eased my fears. So the sooner you can kind of get over that, the better. It's an important part of our business model, and if you want to grow big, you're going to have to do a lot of these three-way calls for your team. And so you're going to have to model that, because often if you sign up a new consultant and you have a three-way call before they sign up, they're going to just think that's part of the process, and that's just what they're going to do too. And they're a very effective way of growing your team. It also builds capacity, in my opinion, because you're introducing them to another person on the team that can help them and getting that introduction started. So I highly recommend them. Okay, well, that is it for our first training session. I hope I didn't talk too fast or mumble or say 1,000 times. Here is your homework, which I will also post on the page. Number 1, I want you to identify your why and share it on our August Launchpad. We will help you with the language tweaks to make it super powerful and succinct. It's important to participate, because remember, there's going to be some prizes, but also so that other people can see what your whys are and get some ideas as well for themselves. So share that. Number 2, use the questions that I'll write down on the August launch page to write your short story. You will need this for your big business launch, and pretty much when you talk to anybody about why you're doing this. I'll list the questions, but you can also find them on the Getting Started site link on Pulse. It's on the left side in the pinkish section. Okay, so number 1 is identify your why and write it on the page. Number 2 is write your short story, and I'll write the questions on the page. Number 3, make your list of 100 people. Don't freak out.